Just spice up your life.
Oh, that's okay.
Gotta treat yourself, gotta have the balance. Oh my gosh, this is funny because I have a lot of stuff in my car. Don't mind that. That's funny. So I'm just getting out right now. It's like 3:18. I got in at like 5:45. So yeah, but it was good. Basically this program that I'm rotating at rotates at like 3 main hospitals for their residency program curriculum. So I'm kind of doing like a shadow week in their ICU, and doing like a shadow week at an audition rotation is not a common thing, but they have a different EMR than the base, and it's just like very complicated. So to get the whole EMR access and that, it's complicated to get even one EMR access, and going between military bases has been crazy, but it was good. I was able to watch a lumbar puncture be done. There are very sick patients here, which is really good for the exposure in residency because you're literally learning. So like seeing sick patients is obviously not good for the patient at all, but it's good for your education as a physician. So yeah, I liked it, and I'm doing this for the rest of the week. And then next week I'm doing the inpatient medicine team, like inpatient wards at the military base. So I'm going to study, figure my life out, and try to enjoy the rest of my day/night. So I just went for a run. I actually ran 5 miles, which is kind of impressive for me right now because I'm very out of running shape. I've gone on like 4 runs in the last week, which is the most I've done in about a year and a half at least. So we're getting back into it. I don't have gym access, or at least it's not convenient right now. I could go to the base gym, but it's like 20 minutes from where I live, and then 20 minutes from the hospital that I'm at right now. So we're just trying to get as much movement in as we can. And I really need to work on my cardiovascular health because I haven't done that for, like I said, about a year and a half. I've been walking, but not running. Okay, it's Monday night. I am in bed watching Netflix at 9:30 with my snacks from Trader Joe's. If you haven't tried the black tea boba ice cream, it's really good. And honestly, it's only 630 calories for the pint, which isn't terrible if you think about it. A pint of Ben & Jerry's is like 1,000 calories or like 1,200 calories. It's really good. Yeah, there's like real tapioca pearls in here. All right, I'm gonna get back to watching The Ultimatum. So I am getting out now. Today rounds went for a little bit longer than normal, but that's okay. You know, usually if someone is in the ICU, they're not really doing too well, or they're on a ventilator, they're very sick. So a lot of goals of care discussions, like difficult discussions with family members go on in the ICU. So kind of that's part of the reason why. So totally understandable, but I was able to present one patient, which is good to kind of like take the load off of the residents a little bit, just like help them a little if I can, because I don't have EMR access here. So that's why I'm not like presenting several patients or like presenting patients at baseline. So tomorrow I'm going to try to do 2 because there's 2 residents on my team. So that would be like -1 presentation for each of them. So yeah, I was just kind of talking with the residents about like the programs and the match process, and everyone's been really nice. So it's nice to like talk to people about those things and like fellowship. And in internal medicine, like it's the gateway to most of the subspecialties. So it's like you know, if someone's a PGY 2 or 3 or even just anyone in it, it's like, oh, are you interested in a subspecialty? That always comes up. And then you get into a whole topic of, oh, I'm going into a chief year, I'm doing this, that, and the other. So yeah, that's how it is in internal medicine. I'm sure it's like that in like other specialties too. So I am probably gonna work out and work on some school stuff, but just try to enjoy the day and take my dog for the month, for a walk, because I'm staying with a resident and he has a dog. So I've been trying to walk her like every day or almost every day. And it really makes me want a dog, like coming home to a dog and like being able to walk with them at the end of the day. I love it. It's so nice. And I just want a dog, but I feel like I can't do that as someone who's like moving somewhere alone. I feel like I'd have to get a dog walker. I don't know. So I have just gotten out from the ICU, like my normal day, and now I'm going to the base because I have to submit the first part of my military application for the military match, like military residency, and you can only access it on a military computer, so I have to go on base. I mean, I've already put in all the initial information and I've uploaded my CV, but I just updated my CV because I've been trying to like get some stuff through, and I'm just gonna upload that and literally just like make sure everything's good because it's my residency application, so it's a big deal. So, you know, have to make sure that's good. So yeah, I don't know, it's just kind of crazy that I'm submitting that now, but I got to watch a bronchoscopy, which is like basically sticking a scope, like a long tube with a camera on it, down your throat and into your lungs, into like the bronchioles, to see if there's anything there, because they suspected aspergillus was there. And I don't think it was. We didn't see anything really. And then they also did a bronchiolar lavage, which is when you are in the lungs, like with the bronchoscopy, and then you squirt saline and then you collect that fluid and see what kind of cells and things come back, to like determine the etiology of the sickness. But yeah, so gonna go do that and then probably not working out today. Does anyone ever just go to McDonald's to get a large Coke Zero to just spice up your life and make it better? Because I occasionally do that, and I did that today. Good choice.
Pretty.
You want me to hold Lily?
Oh, that's okay. Let's get this bread.
Okay, so this is bad. You know, by the time you get to like 4th year, you're like, okay, I'm definitely not a doctor yet. Like, I'm still a medical student, but you're feeling a little bit more confident than if you were a 3rd year medical student, because at that point you have no idea, and it depends where you're at in 3rd year, and yeah, like beginning or end. But anyway, so, you know, I'm on my 3rd audition right now. You know kind of how to stay out of the way at this point, not really get in people's ways, but of course you still get in people's ways sometimes, but you're just better about knowing how not to, and you're better about like not doing those classic medical student things, even though today literally something like that happened to me where it's just like, yeah, like that was what a medical student would do. So the resident was getting ready to do an arterial line, which is like basically a way that you can monitor blood pressure more accurately for like several different reasons. And she was doing it, and she was like, can you sterilely like unwrap these items and put them on the sterile field, because I had gloves on but I wasn't sterile. And I was like, yeah. So I do, and I wrap part of it, and I'm not touching it with my hands, but then I like don't wait for her to take it. I just like let it out, and the thing just like jumped out of the plastic onto the ground, and it was just like, yeah, you know, just one of those things that like a medical student would do. But honestly, more of like a third year medical student. No hate to them, but I'm just like, damn, honestly, I should not be doing that right now. So that was embarrassing, not gonna lie. Like, no one was mean about anything. They literally just got a new probe cover, which is what it was, and it was all good. But I was just like, yeah, I'm embarrassed right now, but it's fine and nothing's gonna happen. And yeah, it's just one of those moments where you're like, yes, this is what a medical student would do, and I am a medical student, so it makes sense. So earlier tonight, I went to kind of like a resident hangout thing, which is cool. The residents that I've interacted with on all of my rotations have been amazing. These residents are like really super nice, which is awesome. And then I did get some Raising Cane's as well for a treat, because gotta treat yourself, gotta have the balance. So now I'm just gonna relax for the rest of the night. I'm really excited to just sleep in tomorrow until like 8 or like whenever my body wants to. Like waking up at 5, like 5 days in a row really starts to affect me. And I honestly wasn't going to bed that early. Like I wasn't getting 7 hours of sleep, which I try to get 7 to 7.5 hours. I was really getting 6 most nights, which does affect me because I was good about sleep during the first 2 years of med school and the third year. So when I don't sleep, I can feel it now, and I'm 25, so the body's starting to need the sleep. I'm not like I was in undergrad, you know? So yeah, just gonna relax for the rest of the night. So I was just kind of thinking of something. Like someone said to me, is it weird that you don't have like a home base, like that you don't, you know, have somewhere that you can kind of go back to? And I think I'm doing a good job like adapting to the changes and like taking my stuff out of the car and like taking out what I need. And I have everything I need in my car and like around, and thankfully I've had places to stay and stuff. I'm not sleeping in my car, just to be clear, if you didn't know about that. But yeah, I mean, there are downsides to it, I will say, like not knowing exactly how I'm gonna work out. Like that's why I've been running a lot the last 2 weeks, because the base gym is like far, and I'm not gonna get a gym membership, you know, because I'm trying to save money. And sometimes food, it's like, oh, am I gonna have access to a fridge? Like how big is the fridge? Right now I'm in someone else's house, so like I'm not trying to take up more than one shelf in their fridge, because I just feel like that would be kind of bad, trying to be respectful. So yeah, and then like sleeping in different beds in different places, like it is a lot, but I think it's a good time for me to like adapt to the changes. It does get a little lonely, you know. I'm not near my family. I haven't been near my family for all of medical school, but you know, you're just kind of like going from place to place alone. So I am going to see my grandparents before I go back to Florida for my next rotation, which is really nice. So I guess that's a pro, is you can go and see people that you wouldn't normally be able to see. I'm trying to like work that stuff in the trip. But yeah, I don't know, like just some thoughts. And so far it's been good. I've met good people. Thank God I haven't had any car issues. At this point, I've driven 4,758 miles on this trip since I left after my board study month. There's someone in the car next to me. So I just got my eyebrows threaded. They look 10 times better than how they did before. And you can tell my lip is very red. I also got my lip threaded. When I tell you it was like one of the most painful things of my life, I'm completely serious. But she did a great job, but my skin is very sensitive. That's why I have to get my eyebrows started. That's why I can't get them waxed, because my skin will like literally peel off, and just be like having, it looks like an allergic reaction almost. But yeah, so I have a red lip. I'm going into Trader Joe's right now to get some groceries for the week, and I'm happy that my eyebrows look good now. They were actually pretty terrible before, but yeah, we'll just have to go with this upper lip for now.